Early morning and they're back. Let's go. Before we put these wheels on, I want to take some steel wool and hit a couple of these little rough spots that are here on these spokes just because I don't want to have to do it, while the tires are installed. All right. Next steps are, well, the next step is not are, is to set this back on here. But I did make a mark actually on this side, right over here, just so I could align it exactly how it was. I don't think it's necessary for everything to be exactly, the same orientation, but I like to keep it like that. Now these already have blue Loctite on here, so I'm just gonna, um, you know what? I'll apply a little more Loctite. Let's get this over to the bike. We're gonna start with what I'm anticipating will be the most complicated out of the two, and that's the rear wheel. Hell yeah. Okay. Now that while that sits there, I'm gonna grease the axle and all of that stuff. Before we do the belt, I think I may go over on this side. This whole assembly goes right over here. Trying to do this slowly. Without giving much movement to the brakes, so that I can slide the rotor right in the brake pad and hopefully not have to do too much to the brake side of things. Okay, it is on. Click it up so. I think I want to drop the bike a bit. Like that, it's easier to run the axle in a way that, it's going to go through the wheel. Or through the whole hole where, where it should be sitting. There you go. Spacer, then the bracket. Let me get you guys over here. So the black spacer will go right over here where my finger is. Then this is the bracket for the brakes that are holding it over there, the bracket for the calipers. And then the silver spacer would be on the right side of this bracket. So I actually may begin with running that silver one, because this bracket, I believe, may hold it in place like that. And then I'll fit this black spacer in here. All right, now they're all aligned kind of. Then try to push the axle in slowly. All right, I know it's in on the black spacer there. So I'm gonna try to help the wheel. Okay. All right, we're in. And now I think we just have to run it the whole way because all the spacers are in. There you go. Just gotta help it a bit. And the last two things is the washer over here, and then obviously the nut. And once we actually tighten this down, we'll you know, put the infamous clip on there. So I think that's pretty good. That should have been the harder part of it. What I'm not looking for is this damn bracket right over here. Installing the mufflers again. That fucking angle is killer. So let's see how we get it done. So now we gotta torque this down to, I believe, 95 foot-pounds. Now, final touch. This side is installing our clip here. I'm actually just gonna tap it in, make sure it's not gonna come off, and we should be on there. And now I'm gonna go fight with that other side over there. Success. That was a painful 6 minutes. But I think we got it. What we gotta do now is move to the front and try to get this done. All right, moment of truth for the front wheels. Well, front wheel, not wheels. Let's see what we can do. So I think we're gonna leave the caliper for last for this one. So I think I'm gonna have to back this up a bit and find a way to kind of fit both of them at the same time. I think I'm gonna have to run this like that. Just gonna have it close enough and then run this. I did clean this off camera, this axle and all of these spacers. Well, that's actually perfect. It's already in the threads. All right, so I've got my hex over here, and I'm just gonna start those threads over there. Wheel is slightly up, so I'm going to drop it once I gotta tighten it so we can torque it to spec. All right, so that's tight there. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna get the torque wrench. All right, so let's take this off. Let's see if we can slide these bad boys in smoothly, unlike the last time we tried this. Oof, money. All right, let me get a bolt started over here. Let me get the bolt started over here, Tony. We're not in place. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. That's that. Once this is good, once we take a little test drive and everything looks good with the belt, gotta ride this up the street and get us our inspection, which is the big moment we've been waiting for. Bingo. All right. Now we actually have both of our wheels put back on. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and do a little test to see if the belt is aligned correctly. All right, moment of truth. She's alive. That looks good. Belt is still perfectly aligned. I gave it some acceleration and it took off. It spun well. Nothing seems to be vibrating or not correctly in place. So I think it's time to get it out of the shed and take it for a quick spin, man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You guys stay safe.
Oh, that's a 107 too.
Yeah, man. It's fun. Love cool dudes, man.